Hi, I'm Eric Westrich, and you're watching Startup Show San Diego, a startup TV show about startup companies. Together, we celebrate startup heroes and leaders and grow our startup ecosystem to create even more. Over the next half hour, we'll connect with the fun and culture of the startup community with inspiring stories and with the tools and resources that startups need to succeed. This week, we're at San Diego Startup Week, and you absolutely don't want to miss this special academic startup episode, so stay tuned. Hi, welcome to Startup Show San Diego, and this is our special Startup Academia show. And we're here at Evo Nexus, and we've got the fabulous Fabrice Gould here.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Now, you were one of the organizers of this whole week, this Startup Week in San Diego. What was that like putting it on? What were your major challenges?
Oh boy, well, one of the challenges is simply we're a volunteer organization. So there are pros and cons there. The cons is just everyone, it's their second job. They're all working on their startups. But really the pros is the people that volunteer are just amazing. They are so passionate about giving back. They're so passionate about helping other startups. So just the vibe you get from the organizing and then obviously what we're experiencing this week.
And what do you do in your day job when you're not organizing week-long events with 2,000 people?
So again, I'm passionate about giving back, and I'm a founder of my own company. It's Diggin, founder and CEO, and we are a B2B platform, and we help marketers gain much easier access to marketing data about their customer base.
So you were at the event last year and years before, obviously. How does this year compare?
I am floored every year. It's just astounding how much it grows. I moved here 13 years ago. There was just no ecosystem at all. So we've just seen in the last few years where it's really been established. But what's happened since last year is just exponential growth. So I'm really excited about this year. The amount of people involved, the amount of events happening, the amount of sophistication in the content has just been very impressive.
And favorite event so far?
Well, so far, last night was the keynote, Mark Schuster. He is just one venture capitalist that I've been following for years. He's slightly unique because he is a past entrepreneur. He's been very transparent as a venture capitalist, so you learn so much from him as an entrepreneur. He speaks so transparently about what are the challenges from the entrepreneur side as well as the venture capital side or the investor. Even from his blog, which he calls both sides of the table. So you're getting both perspectives, which really helps you on your endeavor of growing your business.
And to me, the most important thing was that he said his goal is to spend more money in San Diego. That's what I walked away with.
So it's funny, I actually talked to him last night for a few minutes, and that was great, but I'd met him a few years ago in Orange County, and he actually said that to me. He said, give me a reason to invest in San Diego. He went to school here, so I know his heart is here. We just need to give him opportunity and deal flow to really invest in the area.
And when we're talking about the crowd this year, how are they different from years before? Is it the same type of people? Are there different type of people? How's the crowd changing?
Yeah, so one great part is we have a core community and we all support each other. We all know each other. One of the big efforts we wanted this year with marketing is how do we reach out to an extended community that maybe doesn't know about startups, doesn't know there's even an ecosystem here. And I feel like we've been very successful this year. Just in the last couple of days, meeting the people that are attending events had no idea. They don't know any of us, they don't know about startups, and they were just excited about how can I learn? And that to me is we were successful in extending out the amount of attendees. And those are the people we really want to reach out to and help them be successful in their endeavors.
So in addition to Mark Schuster, who's the most fascinating or interesting or fun person you met?
One is just on the speaker side. You're just meeting some really impressive people that know their content. They're experts in their area. So meeting them and listening to them speak is just amazing. You're learning so much in a condensed week that you wouldn't get exposed to in years. So someone that jumps to mind is, I actually spoke last night with Lars Helgeson from Green Rope, but we also had Jeremiah Gardner speak just before us, and we were talking about growth marketing. So they're both very, very knowledgeable, and they're a lot of fun to watch speak.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, exciting week, and thank you so much for stopping by and for everything you do setting this event up. And we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Alex Gorchev. I'm with Cisco. Last year, we've run an Innovation Grand Challenge, and a company from San Diego won the main prize. This year, we're running this challenge again. There are many amazing startups at San Diego here, and we really hope to see more San Diego companies to enter. And to enter, please go to innovationgrandchallenge.cisco.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Orlando with Scale Matrix, and we're extremely excited to be part of Startup Week in San Diego. We sponsored this event to help drive the startup community, and we're looking forward to being able to promote some of our new services which help startups make better use of their IT investment. If we can help in any way, please look us up at Scale Matrix. Good luck this week in the idea competitions. We look forward to seeing you all here out at Startup Week.
Hi everyone, I'm Josh Commenda, founder and president of Veo. We're really excited to be here this week and to be a sponsor of San Diego Startup Week. Every year this gets better and better as we build this community together. We're really excited this week for the pub crawls, the sessions, the events, the fireside chats. I'd really encourage all of you to get involved and let's build this community together.
Welcome back to San Diego Startup Week and Evo Nexus. At San Diego Interactive Day, I was very excited to see Don Norman on stage in front of a lot of people, and even more excited that he's here with us today. And Don Norman, that everybody probably knows, is the director of the Design Lab at UC San Diego. Did I get that right?
You got that right.
Got that right.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And it's fairly new, about.
This is the second year, the end of the second year.
And since we're at San Diego Startup Week, we're exploring startup and all that. You have a long history of startup. Could you give us a quick update on how your journey went from getting in, from starting to where you are now?
Yeah, I'm glad you haven't asked me my history on startups, because I'd say, well, you know, I really helped this company out and it failed, and this one and it failed. And I was consulted to that and they didn't pay me in money, they paid me in stock and it failed. But a couple actually have succeeded. So I actually have made money on some startups. I even have one now. My son has a startup, and the products will come out in August and September, and we'll see. Well, I don't want to repeat my long and complex history, but basically I was at UCSD for 27 years, and then I retired, and I went off and was at Apple and HP, started my own company, followed a client to Chicago. That startup didn't make it. I then started teaching and started a design group at Northwestern, retired, went to Palo Alto, and then the chancellor at UC San Diego brought me back to start a design group. And what I said was, you know, design is really important and most people don't know what it is. They don't realize that design is solving the right problem. And it can solve any problem, organizational structure, the health system, transportation systems. It isn't just making something pretty. And so it's absolutely essential in the beginning when you have an idea for a new product. And so design and Startup Week have to be intimately related, because we talk about design and innovation, and actually at UCSD we add commercialization, but that's a package. You start with design, making sure you have a product that people really need, and then making sure it is makeable, manufacturable, serviceable, affordable, and again, as something that people will say, oh yeah, I want that. And then you have to figure out how to manufacture it, and distribute it, and advertise it, and sell it, and update it, and service it, and all of that is one package. So we started our meeting, which is all day Thursday, to try to introduce design to industry and the government. And it's a part of Startup Week because it must always be a part of
So
Startup
how would
Week.
you say you're doing this great design event, and it is an event, is part of this event. How do you leverage Startup Week itself to promote that event? What do you think is about Startup Week that makes that special?
Well, let me tell you what the event is about. And then the way it's coupled with Startup Week is kind of the story of my life. All of my life is accidents. But what's important about accidents is, something unusual you didn't expect happened, so take advantage of it. So here's what happened. I was brought back to start a design program, and I couldn't find any designers. And I said, where are the designers? How can we have no designers in the city and start a big program at the university? So I started to search for designers, and to my surprise, I found them. I found several thousand designers. But it was a community that didn't know about itself. And even when we started bringing them together, and we weren't the first group to do this. This has been tried every few years for the last 10 or 15 years, and it never stuck. And I said, well, yeah, because you can't just have designers talk to designers, they have to talk to industry. And you need to talk to the VC community who might fund new ideas, and the government officials ought to embrace it. I talked to Mark Cafferty, who's the CEO of the Economic Development Corporation for San Diego. And he says he tries to sell San Diego to industry around the country, but there's no unique factor except the weather. So they say, yeah, it's a place for tourists, but why should a business come here? So design can be the answer. If we have a rich, unique, very creative community, business loves that. And design, when design is done right, solving the right problem, it saves companies millions and millions of dollars, or it brings in millions and millions with enhanced products. So tried to start this up. We brought together all these people, the Port of San Diego, the Economic Development Corporation, the mayor's office, and the designers. And we had chosen a date, and we kept moving it because it turned out it was bigger than we expected. So we kept delaying and delaying, and we ended up at June 16th. And someone said, you can't do that, that's the middle of Startup Week. And we thought about that for a while and said, at first we said, oh God, we got to change. And then we said, no, that's perfect. Because design ought to be an integral part of Startup Week. And so it's, as I said, it's an accident, but we're going to try to take advantage of it. And we want the startup community to take advantage of us because we are all in it together. And next year will be a more integral part. And the year after that, even bigger. Look, our goal is to change the city. One of the results we want of what we're doing is that the city embraces design. But if it embraces design, it has to embrace the startup community because that's the young, the exciting, the vibrant people. But it isn't enough to have design and have ideas, they have to have money. So we need to bring the VC community back and the angel community. It has to be a system.
Well, I think this has been one of our best interviews because you basically connected vision with the event, with things that are really important. So I'm really excited.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Well, you did a great job, so I really
Well, thank
appreciate
you.
you being there. I appreciate everything you do, and we'll be right back.
I'm Julio CEO of Lab Fellows, and we're a sponsor of San Diego's Startup Week, and we're really excited to be able to help support the first ever biotech track, a great opportunity for those trained scientists who are looking for a new option instead of working for a big pharma or in academia, start their company and really change the world. This week is a great opportunity to see tracks where they're turning biotechnology into new springboards for the next big thing. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Ken Sherman. I'm the CEO of the KeyMark, and we're so excited to be part of San Diego Startup Week. We want to bring everybody to our trademark application platform so that they can protect their slogan, their brand, and their logo on our site. Thank you again for being part of San Diego Startup Week.
Hi, it's Christine Thakar with MS Realty Services, and I'm excited to be here at the start of San Diego Startup Week. We are hosting 75 events at 3 of our buildings. That's 1 Columbia Place, 701B, and 707 Broadway. So I hope to see you there and come hang out between sessions at our terraces at 1 Columbia Place.
Hi, my name is Mike Anderson. I'm the Chief Technology Officer and founder of Telium. We're a software company here in San Diego. We're based out of San Diego. Our main headquarters is here, and I'm excited to be a part of San Diego Startup Week to see more entrepreneurs and talented individuals connect themselves with good budding companies in the San Diego area.
Very excited to be here at San Diego Startup Week. Looking forward to all the events, all the activities, and most importantly, getting a chance to meet you. As the founder and CEO of Seismic Software, San Diego Startup Week represents a great opportunity for us to connect with potential employees and also raise the awareness of San Diego as an excellent software scene.
San Diego Startup Week.
Thank you. It's great to be here and excited to be a part of it.
Now, you came to San Diego on purpose from somewhere else. This was a very intentional thing for you.
It sure was.
For you. So, tell us just a quick what's your title and what you're doing at University of San Diego.
Well, I'm the director of the Cybersecurity Center for Engineering and Technology at USD. And for me, it's the third opportunity to stand up a cyber center, and I'm excited about it. And why San Diego? We'll have to talk about that.
Well, okay. So when did you, take me back the moment when you first realized that the startup ecosystem in San Diego was really moving, or you could have a potential really make a difference. What triggered that?
I was sitting in a board meeting for an organization called Technolink in Los Angeles. And there were two speakers from San Diego presenting on what was happening in San Diego and what the city wanted to be as it related to cybersecurity going forward. And I thought, wow, if that's real and not hyperbole, need to know more about it. Because if you get a whole community moving, that's an unstoppable train.
And you've had success doing this before. This isn't your first rodeo, as you said. So you intentionally came here, and you haven't been here all that long. What are you most proud of that you've done so far?
Well, we actually arrived physically in San Diego at 4 a.m. June the 1st last year. So it's just past a year. And we went right to work. The first 2 months we had 4 to 6 meetings a day talking to community leaders, companies, agencies, vetting curriculum. What do you need? What can we do? And then we got busy working with the leadership at the University of San Diego, who have just been awesome. And in January, we stood up our first 2 master's degrees. We have certificate programs going. We're working on a 3rd master's degree. And in January, in those opening classes, we had students and we were up and running. And I don't know what you know about academic time and real time. They're not always the same. But I can tell you,
I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
for our university, that's warp speed.
Okay, so let's compound that warp speed over a few years here, and let's say you and I are sitting there happy or having a drink. It's 1 to 5 years from today, and I ask you the question of, what are you most proud of that you've done for the San Diego startup ecosystem? What do you think your answer is going to be?
I would like to be, as a group at the University of San Diego, one of those difference makers in the city that help to fill any gaps and to take San Diego to be one of the top cities for technology and cyber in the nation.
Very good. One last question before we play 4 amazing things.
Okay.
How do you think that an academic organization can take advantage of something like Startup Week to drive your success?
Well, a lot of people always want to know what they can do if they get a degree. What can they become? And in San Diego, there's a lot of options. And so I see this as enlightening, energizing, and igniting excitement in people that are coming back to get another degree or to start their first one, getting out of the military, etc. So I think that can make a difference. And we had a big award pushed on us. It was competitive and we're very proud of it. We won an NSA Gen Cyber Award for taking high school students this summer from the week of July 25th to the 29th to teach them cyber principles. It's a large award. We have 40 high school students from all over the country, 40 teachers. We had over 450 applications for those 40 seats. That's success before we start, and we're thrilled to bring that to San Diego.
Well, and that's an amazing thing. So can you give me 3 other amazing things, 2 of which are true and 1 was false? And then we'll have to guess which one is true, which one is false.
Well, I think the very fact that we got literally started within a year, those were kind of one of those things, oh, well, maybe. Nope, got it done. Winning the national award was one. Before I got into doing cybersecurity, I jumped out of airplanes for fun. I didn't want to miss that opportunity.
Airplane jumper.
And lastly, I think it's the fact that we're pulling together, thanks to the people here in this city, an amazing core group of people that when it comes to cybersecurity, if we don't have the answer between the people here and the 40 that we have around the nation on call, we can handle those problems.
All right, well, I know the cyber area pretty well, so I think that's true. So did you really jump out of airplanes?
I'm going to break your heart. I actually did with the 82nd Airborne Sport Parachute Club.
There you go. Okay, they're all true. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate your time and what you're doing, and we'll be right back.
Do you have a small space, maybe in your home or in an office environment, that you'd love to turn into a freestanding broadcast studio? I'm talking about in a really small space if you need to. Something that would include a chroma key backdrop, custom lights, a media grid that could be moved anywhere very, very quickly, and monitors, cameras, all the lighting you need all in one place that'd be totally clutter-free and not leave a trace behind. I'm talking about no holes. Well, this is a big idea. It's called IStudio, and what the IStudio team does is meets with you, looks at your space, and helps you configure a completely customizable, personal, portable broadcast studio and studio environment that can be used for practically any purpose. You could create products inside it, you could broadcast a message, you could bring in guests, but you can also continue to use this environment as an office as well. So you can mount any number of monitors in front of you. Maybe it could have statistics on it, it could have keynote presentations or PowerPoint if you're doing corporate presentations, but more importantly, you could control and configure everything yourself if you want to, or even bring in an assistant. What's really, really nice about IStudio is it's completely customizable and, like I said, clutter-free as well. So all you need to do to take advantage of this and find out more is meet with your IStudio team. They'll ask you a little bit about your space, what you want to do with the system, and what your outcome and goals are, and they'll find the perfect equipment and the setup, the lights, the chroma key, the wall environment, the screens, everything you need all in one place. So check out IStudio right now.
Hi, I'm Caleb Malone, CTO of Underground Elephant, and we're really excited to be part of San Diego Startup Week. I think the thing I'm most excited for is to be one of the stops on the pub crawl tonight, so hope to see some interesting outfits and faces there. But also for us at Underground Elephant, we really see this as a great opportunity to meet people, not only within the network of San Diego, but also to meet fresh young talent and have new opportunities to hire.
Great, I'm Phil Borland from Pluralsight. I'm the Director of Engineering down here in our San Diego office. And we couldn't be more excited about being here at Startup Week. And we sponsored this because we like to hire entrepreneurs into our staff and like to kind of give back to the community. And I think some of the same energy that we feel here, we feel it in the community. And we're just very proud to be sponsoring that.
Hi, my name is Ken Sherman. I'm the CEO of KeyMark, and we're so excited to be part of San Diego Startup Week. We want to bring everybody to our trademark application platform so that they can protect their slogan, their brand, and their logo on our site. Thank you again for being part of San Diego Startup Week.
Welcome back. I'm here with Bernhard Schroeder, the director of the Lavin Entrepreneurial Center at San Diego State. Welcome.
Thank you.
And so you've agreed to play 4 amazing things.
Yes, I have.
So you're going to tell us 4 amazing things, one of which may be true.
Okay, the first amazing thing is that I've worked with both Jeff Bezos and Steve Jobs at Apple. I have taken a company from a very small company to over $1 billion in revenue. I've written a book that was published last year, and I've sailed around the world.
Wow, those are all amazing.
I know.
Hang
we'll
on.
see which ones are
Hang
true.
on, we'll see which ones are true. So you came to San Diego quite a bit in the industry world, in the commercial world, and you end up moving over into the academic world. Why? What caused that change?
You know, like most people, I believe that we're all on a journey. And so for me, the journey kind of culminated in building a $1 billion company. And once I did that, I was like, okay, now what? I mean, in a real way. And I came down to San Diego to turn companies around. So I did 4 of those. And then I woke up one day and said, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not part of a journey. And I said, what would be part of a journey? And there's a feeling that I experienced every time I walked on a college campus. So I made the decision to spend the rest of my life in a college environment.
Wow. But you were an early forecaster of what startup was going to do and about San Diego. So now that you've been here, what's the most exciting thing for you right now after seeing all that?
You know, I think the most exciting thing is I met a gentleman by the name of Robert Reyes in 2008, and he told me he was going to try to create a grassroots movement in San Diego and unite the entrepreneurs that didn't have a voice. And I kind of said good luck with that. And he ended up creating Startup Circle, and I think creating some energy. And there's several groups that spun up like that. I think Startup Week is a macro and microcosm out of those types of efforts. And so it's kind of cool to see the grassroots movement of entrepreneurship in San Diego being owned by entrepreneurs and kind of taking it to another level.
Great. And since you've seen the past, you've got a pretty good handle on the present. What do you think the future looks like for the San Diego startup ecosystem?
You know, I think it looks amazing. I know a lot of people make comparisons to Silicon Valley, and I don't think we should do that. I think we've got some advantages that Silicon Valley doesn't have. For example, we've got a mix of different things here, whether it's bio, action sports, tech, maybe a little bit of food. And I think that mix gives us a nice blend in order to be creative. I think the second is smaller is actually better. I've lived in pretty much all over the world, and for San Diego, to me, being in this kind of a market where you have kind of the freedom to live your life, but maybe also create something, and that's acceptable, I like that.
That's fantastic. So how do you see San Diego Startup Week as a tool for San Diego State? How do you optimize it or leverage San Diego Startup Week?
Well, again, I think Startup Week is coming out of all the efforts that everyone's doing around the community, whether it's in the tech ecosystem, whether it's in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, whether it's at any of the 5 or 6 colleges in town. Everyone seems to be focusing on innovation and creativity and entrepreneurship. And it's not necessarily to have every person or student be an entrepreneur, but I think we're coming to the realization that you need to be more innovative and you need to be more creative in order to have a good ecosystem. And so I think you just have more people leaning in. Whether it's our center, what UCSD is doing, what other schools are doing, Pomona's doing some amazing things. I think everyone's kind of leaning in.
Well, great. So I guess we're at the most important question is, what's amazing?
What's amazing is that I actually have worked with Jeff Bezos and Steve Jobs in my career. What's maybe not so amazing is the fact that I have never sailed around the world.
Do you plan to sail around the
I
world?
do not.
Great. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. This is it for this episode. We'll see you next time.